FaZe can bring to the table, what we've seen from in the past.
This is huge. This is the first team eliminated from EU or NA. So NA's been taking lots of wins this weekend. This is now the biggest test for a team who have been struggling. FaZe coming in as, I think, the underdogs based on form. And what on earth is going on here? No one attacking the ball at the near post, but luckily for FaZe, Endpoint didn't have a lot of momentum to work with either.
But an early taste of what Seiko can do. Saw the creativity. We even saw it yesterday. The plays, and now Relating Wave threatening the double tap. The ball getting cleared. Still FaZe stuck on defense, and we saw them stuck on defense quite a bit yesterday, and that's when they started to fumble the ball a bit.
Yeah, they need to find a way to challenge, well, in particular Seiko, but the entire Endpoint squad. I think Metza has really stepped up this line compared to the fall major, and it's Relating Wave who's had those moments. He's been struggling. He was obviously feeling pretty bad after the end of the last game. Big whiff leading to a Game 4 loss against Furia, which ended the series. But I think it's got to be that guy Seiko, mainly, that FaZe have got their eyes on.
As far as who do you keep your eye on FaZe Clan, it could be really any one of them, depending on who shows up first. Killer, he's been amazing offensively, defensively. Typical had some great moments yesterday as well, but ultimately FaZe Clan was not able to put it all together in Game 5.
And AJ has been the one who's looked a bit more awkward on this roster since Illusion left the team, and now Typical's in his place. I think AJ looked a lot more at home playing with Illusion, but let's see if they can synergize. It's a nice little back post approach there by Metsonoris. It was spotted early enough by Typical. Now he offloads to first killer in the counter. Seiko going to control the ball on his goal line. It's confident defense coming out of Endpoint.
Shot coming in. Relating Wave will try to control. Doesn't have much support, so we'll take this to the ground. Can't get the challenge. Metza a bit awkward. We'll hit it backwards. You see Seiko having to deal with that audible, half flipping, trying to get it out. Now Relating Wave will punch it downfield in the corners. Little double tap there, but first killer able to challenge AJ on his own backboard. Now off the ceiling, Seiko a lob to the backboard. First killer there who's trying to boom it, but Metza there to slow it down. FaZe on the attack, however. A tip off to the side. Seiko's there. We'll have some boost to get back to the ball. Flip, reset, play, and it's blocked. But you saw how many defensemen were thrown at that play from FaZe.
Seiko just always demanding so many challenges. He does not get tackled by one. Hang on a second. AJ gets the opening goal. It bounces in off the far post. Huge back corner 50-50 by AJ.
And you see the ball bouncing. Metza actually slowing down, and you can see him getting lost in the corner, thinking that ball was going to stay there. So an interesting way to start out Game 1. FaZe, they'll take it. FaZe on their back tires for most of the start of the game, but will find that first goal. To the middle, Seiko up against first killer. First killer will get a hit, but Typical launched it back at his own net. Wasn't expecting that deflection, and they do clear it out.
That's a great interception there, not the one before, which almost went on his own net, but looking out for those infield passes. FaZe not looking vulnerable in the infield at the moment. That's actually a place where NRG had a ton of success against Endpoint yesterday. Tons of infield passes working out for them, so that's something to look out for in offense for FaZe. Here's a big chance for first killer. Decides to slow roll Seiko. Seiko calls him on that one. Does get the defensive duty done.
Typical pitching that off to the corner. Metza testing FaZe on the net. First killer, awkward bounce, but great speed, beating out Seiko to the ball, and AJ didn't get the flip reset, but you saw the idea.
Yeah, he went for something fancy there. He's definitely capable of doing things like that. Awkward angle resets. The defender's expecting just a simple touch. You can never go for the simple option when FaZe are up against you.
If AJ can hit some plays like that, that would be a huge boost to FaZe, who've been looking to get him in a primary spot. Now Seiko downfield. And the backboard denied from AJ. FaZe, they've had a few double commits, but they've still been able to shut down this attack, not letting Seiko have the space. There's a demo off ball. Seiko taking out AJ. Typical starts the counter, and an easy put in from Typical. You saw the demo. It was too much. the commit. Relating Wave was all alone.
Oh my, well, Relating Wave just doesn't know where to go as well. He's thinking that ball's coming up the back wall, turns into the corner, but the net's just wide open. He's just really dropped the ball there for Endpoint. And despite FaZe being under pressure for tons of this game, they're up by 2, and Endpoint are not looking very good in defense. This could be another opportunity. It's actually going to bounce in after 2 players miss. Easy goal for AJ, but again, Endpoint not able to make contact in the setup.
Oh, you see CeX, he was all alone there yet again. Endpoint, a dismal series of events. And this Endpoint team having a rough start. FaZe, like you said, Johnny, they have been playing a lot of defense. And the goals that they've gotten have not been, you know, normal FaZe Clan goals. They have been scrappy goals. Yeah.
They count, and they're just as effective, and it's going to be enough to win this game. Time just getting away from Endpoint here. Will Endpoint be able to iron out those defensive mistakes in time? Only a best of 5. They're fighting for the tournament life, and they're fighting for what everybody wants this weekend, and that's to get to this stage in front of the crowd. They have to win this in order to do that. But FaZe Clan, they're finally putting it together. They had a good start against Queso in the group stage. Can they keep up this level against Endpoint, unlike their group stage performance?
We will find out. FaZe getting AJ involved, 2 goals, and also the defensive plays from FaZe. They were key. They had a few moments where Seiko had space. He had space. He fought for it, but FaZe Clan was able to read the play and shut it down, and we've seen a lot of teams struggle to do that.
Yeah, they've got to just do, well, the main thing against Seiko, just hit the ball. Just go for the ball, because he's probably going to go for lots of fakes. He actually nearly pulled one off with a fake into a flip reset. So if they could just keep on getting early challenges against Seiko, that's going to shut down Endpoint's main offensive player. And outside of that, Endpoint haven't really been too creative with their offensive plays. They're just going for long offensive boost starvation strategies. And that can work against some teams, but I think FaZe are quite efficient with their boost, and they're actually quite comfortable sitting back like this. So will Endpoint look for demos? Will they start to incorporate maybe more on the infield passing instead of just going for big solo plays? We'll have to wait and see.
We did see one demo play come out, and an early chance, a pass across net, not coming to fruition. But we saw a demo attempt from Endpoint last game. It was an off-ball demo from Seiko, and that put Relating Wave all alone on the counterattack, and they got scored on. So they're going to have to make sure they time it right, because you mistime that demo like that, you dive in. You don't want FaZe to have a 1v1 situation, because no matter who has the ball on FaZe, they can make the dribble play.
Will either of these teams be able to win that mental war? It seems to be so impactful, especially towards the end of all the series this week. Endpoint, not known for being the loudest teams, but that's more not to say that they're quiet. It's because every other team's still loud. Hold on, AJ's getting loud with this one.
For Relating Wave, it looked like he ran out of gas. He stopped. Seiko's just watching, and
wow.
The lane towards net was about the size of a ball.
It was, yeah, it was the size of a ball.
Just enough. Any bigger, and it was perfect shot. Right down that lane.
You called it right as well, though. The Relating Wave doing absolutely nothing there. He's got to challenge. He's already got Seiko in net behind him. He's got to go. He's got to let Seiko know what's going to happen a lot earlier. Just get into the position to challenge AJ. But yeah, Relating Wave really struggling to get into this. This day is not getting any better yet. But what a start for FaZe. They are capitalizing on all the Endpoint mistakes.
And it's been AJ who has been so impressive. That ground pinch, not a gimme. Had such good power, and also to place that where he did. Perfect placement. Strong start from FaZe. Will it be enough? AJ challenged by Relating Wave. Sypical has a lot of boost for this play. A demo from AJ. Sypical can't get to the challenge. Metza towards net, off the post, and it actually hits off First Killer to prevent the rebound.
That is ridiculous. Somehow FaZe have escaped from conceding in this position. Endpoint still in the attack here. Boost is not looking too great for FaZe other than First Killer.
Wow.
Challenges are still coming in, though. They're getting goal side of the ball. They're making sure to make it as difficult as possible for Endpoint, who are still piling on the pressure.
And you saw Endpoint going for that 1-2 passing play. Comfortable, but that shot, I mean, it's saved off the post. You have no idea where it's going. And it just happens to hit First Killer to prevent that rebound. Crazy series of events. Unfortunate for Endpoint, who are looking to tie this one up as we approach the halfway point of the game. A shot, far post, it's slotted by First Killer.
What a laser from First Killer. Perfect placement. And the guy just hits the ball so hard. That is disgusting. Honestly, as impressive as any of a flip reset goal we've seen this weekend, just to get the absolute perfect pixel in the ball for maximum power. First Killer, one of the best in the world at doing that.
And Metzel was back. He was right where he needed to be. Metzel was expecting the shot, and it still beat him. Another shot coming in, saved. A double up in net there from FaZe. First out of boost, trying to get that corner, does get it. Metza, infield pass, Seiko up. First also up, Seiko bailed out. Sipical down the side. The challenge from First Killer will push it even further down. Demo from Sipical, pass out, but nobody there. However, Endpoint, oh, nice shot, but First Killer again there to deny it.
Yeah, routine saves from First Killer. This is what he does. He's shadowing. He wants somebody to force a shot in the midfield so that he can save it and take control of the ball. He is known for this from way back in his 1v1 days until now. Endpoint have got to think of something different, and how about that? That'll work. A much less predictable shot delivers the goods for Endpoint.
And the power, they've been hammering that top post, and you can see Seiko letting Relating Wave take that shot, getting underneath the ball, basically doing nothing to that ball, teeing it up so that Relating Wave can take the shot, and a powerful shot finally beats the FaZe Clan defense. The key goal as well for Relating Wave, who has had a slow start this series.
Yeah, that's massive for Relating Wave, but they've still got work to do in game number 2, or else it'll be reverse sweep only to keep Endpoint alive. Now here comes 1v1 attempt, but the ball gets away from Seiko. Couldn't get there before AJ. Seiko still lurking in the back corner. Endpoint starting to apply more and more pressure as this game continues towards its ending.
Yeah, AJ, another quality challenge. Seiko trying to dribble that one up the wall. Now back to the midfield, Relating Wave, trying to dribble it as well, but gets demoed by First. AJ taking it to the corner, a pinch from Seiko. He'll follow it up out of boost. We'll leave that for Relating Wave. First Killer, nice play from First Killer. Being able to follow up his hit and then clear it out. AJ can't get the challenge. Seiko and Metza go.
Endpoint needing to communicate a lot more cleanly than this. There's the big chance. Relating Wave goes past it. I think both him and the defender expected a touch from each other, so they both end up missing while attempting blocks. Now still, Endpoint with an opportunity. Seiko tries to fake out First Killer, who's not having any of it. But Metza's got Seiko as an option in field. What a save again for FaZe.
Oh, and that net's vulnerable, and it sneaks by. Relating Wave can't get back. You can see the look of devastation on his face. Wow, FaZe has been, and you even saw a little bit.
He was so close that on our view, he's like just almost getting that contact, but obviously we know that no contact was made. Goal goes in for FaZe, but still, the last chance here. What a save on the interfield pass though from First Killer, cutting it off and really just removing any chance for Endpoint to come back. They will lead 2-0 in the lower bracket round 1. Another reminder, winner of this series will play in front of a crowd in the top 8 of the competition. Loser will go home. You've probably tuned in and thought, wait a minute, FaZe Endpoint, that must be an upper bracket match. That must be pretty late in the tournament. No, lower bracket round 1, this bracket is ridiculous.
Yeah, we've had some surprises, some upsets. And talking about things that are upsets or upsetting, Endpoint now find themselves trailing 0-2. FaZe Clan on match point. And even that play right there. I mean,
goodness.
It just, for Endpoint, nothing seems to be going right. And then for FaZe, they have been finding the most slim angles to work from and have made it work.
It's just pure mechanics from FaZe. They've stayed calm when Endpoint are putting pressure on them, and we have seen some really good use of hard clears and long shots to keep Endpoint from feeling too comfortable moving forward. FaZe, they're just so good at making these goal line saves and reacting to what their opponents are doing. If Endpoint don't start to mix it up a little bit more, then I think FaZe are going to be quite comfortable playing against what they're doing. But I know Endpoint are very good at doing exactly that. They're very good at changing things up. And you can see the coach already talking to them. You're going to come in with a game plan here. Definitely a tough spot for Endpoint, especially given the way that they just lost that game. They'll feel like, oh man, we probably should have had a goal here. We definitely shouldn't have let that goal in.
Bounced off first killer off the post.
It's a massively tilting game to lose. Let's see if they can bounce back from it. Or will FaZe just sweep Endpoint out of the competition?
Well, you heard from the coach earlier, Johnny, said nothing is easy for Endpoint. And that has been the case so far. First killer denying the shot. In the corner, will dunk it down, and now AJ racing to the ball. Has some boost, pitching it to the wall to get some height. The pass off the backboard, Relating Wave will tip it to the corner. Pressure mounting, backboard pass. Typical, again challenged by Metzenaris. And now the counter, a miss from AJ. Thought the shot was going to come through. Endpoint fend off that first attack from FaZe Clan.
Oh, no, Typical's actually just missed on a clear, but it actually works in FaZe favor. AJ able to get a hold of the ball. Metzenaris keeps it under control, and AJ actually running into the ball again, not intentional. It does end up working out quite well for them. Another infield pass cuts off. Endpoint are being read with their offensive plays. FaZe are making some great reads to stop attacks before the shot even happens.
Now Seiko has space in the air, trying to delay it, but first killer playing that ball wonderfully, able to get up and tip it down and out of the possession of Seiko. Seiko double tap pass to the corner. AJ booms it back to the middle of the field. Relating Wave controlling it on the first touch. And now Seiko has to get the mid boost, trusting Metza to get it up to him, and he does. But demoed Metza getting taken out by Typical. Relating Wave to the FaZe corner. First killer, nice challenge. Metza staying on the play, but won't make contact on the ball. Seiko in reverse won't be able to do much either. Typical infield to AJ, going for the double, and it's blocked by Metzenaris. A huge save.
Yeah, great read by Metza. Knew exactly what AJ was up to, and he trusted AJ to hit the double. You have to do that against FaZe. They've got such insane solo playability. They're backing each other up at the moment as well. They're doing what everybody's asking for them to do. They're not just playing as three individuals. They're playing like a team right now. They've had synergy, and although there's a couple of nervous moments happening here and there, FaZe still holding strong.
Nervous indeed, because this could be it for Endpoint. Tournament life at stake. We're still scoreless halfway through this game. See first killer trying to underflip that. Will be able to turn on it as well. Pass to Typical, and Metza again there to deny the shot.
Hey, great saves coming out of both teams. Metza going to need to do more. Honestly, he's done quite well with that, and Seiko, despite not having boost, pretends that he can get to this. That makes sure that no FaZe player is going to go. They're all expecting Seiko to hit that to the back corner, but he's faking. He knows he can't get there. Now Relating Wave double, trying to get it on target, not able to get the second touch on the ball from the tight angle. Less than 2 minutes remain. Endpoint needed 3 games in a row here, and the first one's not coming easy.
Yeah, nothing coming easy for Endpoint. Now the tip down, Seiko starting to make some baby steps towards this reverse sweep.
Look how it is setting it up. Relating Wave just pops the ball into the middle slowly. Typical expecting a much faster pass to come across, wasn't ready for this bouncing ball. And actually, I think Relating Wave even threatening a wave dash demo in the landing, so a lot of things going on there for Typical to compute. Didn't manage to get the correct read on the situation. Endpoint lead by 1. Still time left for FaZe Clan.
And there we see it, demo. Metz on first killer. It's going to throw off the rotations for FaZe. Seiko stealing the corner boost. Relating Wave tipping it down to Seiko. Seiko doesn't make contact. And first killer tips it around Metza. The attack is on.
Shot.
And that shot is wide. Relating Wave has struggled at times as third man, but was able to at least push that shot wide or cover the net. Now AJ, that shot gonna be blocked by Relating Wave. So the defense from Endpoint has been the difference maker.
And Seiko actually just missed there to lead it to another FaZe shot, but it's saved as well. So many huge saves coming out of Endpoint in this game. And Seiko catches the ball in the back wall. It's a scramble for FaZe to try and get this one clear, but the shot proves to be too difficult for Relating Wave to finish off. Now first killer in the counter. Air dribble bump, and and he scores it. Endpoint over commit. First killer goes one way, straight down the middle, no time wasted, and ties the game.
And First Killer knew immediately what to do. There was no doubt in his mind. Air dribble bump. When you're in that 1v1 situation, if you can pull that off, it's so difficult to save. And First Killer, he was able to clutch that up for FaZe Clan, tying it up in the final minute. A chance to take the lead, but Relating Wave will clear it out. Endpoint's defense has been so good, and there, CeX streaking in to make that save. Infield pass, nobody from FaZe there. And now a chance for Endpoint. Metza.
Oh my.
Off the backboard, and Relating Wave hits it wide.
A little glance to the side there, Relating Wave. He's not going to be happy with the finish. It was such a good pass by Metza. You can't think about that right now. 15 seconds left for Endpoint to try and score in regulation and keep their series alive here. Could FaZe end it all right now? It's in the Endpoint half. Only Metza with a bunch of boost, or Relating Wave with a lot of boost right now, and there's a challenge coming through. It looks like we will be headed to overtime for game number 3. FaZe Clan just one goal away from the main stage in front of a crowd.
Endpoint. They'll have to find something here. Defense has been fantastic. They're going to need a little bit of offense to finish this out. And so, I don't know how that one went wide.
Typical credited with a save there. I think he deflected it into the post.
Oh, my. Endpoint can't buy a goal at times. And FaZe find another life.
Well, Endpoint, between this game and the last one, will feel like they should have scored some more goals than they have. But again, they've got to just focus on the task in front of them. They have to score the next goal or they're going home. FaZe starting to look a bit shaky here and there, but so are Endpoint. Both teams feeling massive pressure at the moment. It's visible, so clear to see.
So much on the line, Johnny. Not only to progress in the tournament, but to make it in front of a crowd, something that we've been waiting years for. That pressure, you can see it on the players' faces and in their gameplay. CeX tipping towards net. It was soft, and AJ able to save it. First Killer down the gut. CeX controlling it. Will flick it towards net. AJ there, double tap off the ceiling. Gets the demo out of the air as well. Typical, the shot, backboard play. The shot too high, and now sent all the way downfield. Typical demoing CeX as well. Things starting to heat up.
That had to be it for FaZe. Typical hitting the ball high. I don't think he realized how open it was. Endpoint still alive. But that one was not of their own doing, and it won't be for long. First Killer finishes him off. Top corner. Banger by the man in the middle. FaZe Clan eliminate Endpoint from the tournament.
FaZe Clan finally able to achieve that victory that's been so elusive to them. It's been a tough tournament so far, finding themselves in the lower bracket. They missed out in Game 5 yesterday. They were not going to make that same mistake again. And not only do they take Endpoint down, but convincingly in a sweep.
Yeah, not the performance that Endpoint wanted. This is not how they would have wanted to go. I mean, no, you never want to get eliminated, but that was not the performance we see. Even CeX missing multiple times in that last game. Game 2, definitely mistakes as well from Relating Wave, but that's really just being forced by the situation, the immense pressure they're under. They've ended up in this situation after a tiebreaker earlier on in the day. It is tough for them, but I'm sure they can bounce back and eventually get a good LAN performance. But how about FaZe? They are now in the top 8. They started off pretty horrendously in the group stage, but they're still going, and that's the exciting thing about these lower brackets is you never know who's going to get that run going.
And we've seen some pretty crazy lower bracket runs throughout RLCS history, so you can never count anyone out. And it was a battle. At times, you saw CeX making some plays, but then First Killer, that was massive in the final minute, getting that solo play, and then First Killer in Game 3 scoring the overtime goal. First Killer having a massive Game 3, but also early on, Johnny, AJ, his presence was felt early on, and he carried that through the entire series.
Yeah, we're seeing mistakes from Endpoint, but they're almost forced because you always expect somebody's probably up for that. Somebody's probably going at a million miles an hour at this ball. I've got to go. And when you play faster to compensate for the enemy team being as fast as FaZe are, mistakes are going to happen. So these mistakes that Endpoint are making, you got to credit FaZe for them. FaZe really stepping up here. First Killer in that last game, he was the difference with that air dribble bump. huge play to get the tie game before scoring the winner as well.
Yeah, and so FaZe Clan, they do it. They're going to be moving on, playing in front of a crowd tomorrow. And now we're going to go down on the field with Roll Diz.
Thank you, Wave. I'm here with my boy, this man, the tall menace, First Killer. Man, how you feeling right now, man? You finally on the main stage?
I couldn't be happier, bro. I can't wait to play in front of a crowd.
Can't wait to play in front of a crowd. I can't wait to see you in front of a crowd. The energy levels that you guys had from day one, obviously disappointing performances, but now you bounce back. How you guys feeling? What was the mentality moving forward?
Obviously, it was a rough start. We just kept telling each other that it's just like the beginning of the tournament. We'll get the jitters out, and then we're here to make the run.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear, man. First match on stage is going to be the winner of BDS KCP. Who you hoping to play?
Well, obviously, I think we're going to play BDS because, it's just a BDS, but I hope we play KCP.
Okay, you hope you play KCP.
But I think BDS.
You think you're going to play BDS. Yeah. The prediction for that matchup, I got to ask you on the spot. First Killer, my man, you going all the way?
We're going all the way.
That's what I'm talking about. We have to see a full North American top 6.
Yeah, we got to show that we're better.
Exactly, and that's what I like to hear, bro. Listen, man. What I gotta ask. Typical. He's been having disappointing performances. He got the comeback. We have a leadership quality that I said I needed from you. Did you have that?
I've been working on my leadership skills. I've been trying to hype him up, but he's stepping into his own shoes.
All right, man. Thank you, man. I can't wait to see it. SoFi YouTube Theater playing on the main stage. This has been First Killer, and we'll be right back after this break.